Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are here to do another quick painting, and we will do something which is value of time, like more results, but it will take less time for us to do. I know कि मेरे जितने भी सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं मोस्टली दे आर वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स, बहुत लोग स्टूडेंट्स हैं, बट वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स आर आल्सो देयर जिनको पास टाइम कम है। वो हमेशा सोचते हैं कि कैसे पेंटिंग बनाए जिसमें कि हम कम समय है हमारे पास, हम उसको कैसे यूटिलाइज करें। ये जो पेंटिंग है आज आप देखेंगे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 20 to 30 मिनट्स का पेंटिंग रहेगा, एंड द इफेक्ट दैट इट विल क्रिएट, जो ब्यूटी है इसका, आप देख के आप हैरान रह जाएंगे कि इतने कम टाइम में इतने बढ़िया काम हो सकता है। सो फॉर दैट यू हैव टू वॉच दिस टिल द एंड ऑफ द वीडियो। स्टार्टिंग से लेके एंड तक इसको अच्छे से देखिए, और आप इससे बहुत अच्छे से कुछ अच्छी चीज़ सीख सकते हैं कि कैसे हम सिंपल सब्जेक्ट्स को लेके अगर उसको प्रॉपरली एग्जीक्यूट करें तो हमारा जो रिज़ल्ट है, हमारा जो फाइनल प्रोडक्ट है, वो बहुत सुंदर बनने वाला है। सो चलिए ज़्यादा समय बर्बाद न करते हुए लेट्स स्टार्ट दिस पेंटिंग। ये पेंटिंग हम जो बनाने वाले हैं, ये गोवा का एक सीन है, कोलवा बीच का सीन है। द बीच इज़ वेरी नाइस। अगर आप गए होंगे तो यू कैन कमेंट बिलो। और यहाँ पे क्या है, हम रेनी सीज़न में गए थे तो उसका जो स्काई है काफ़ी ड्रामेटिक, बहुत बढ़िया एक क्लाउडी स्काई है, तो उसका मैंने फ़ोटो लिया था और उसको आज हम बनाने वाले हैं। सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड। सो सबसे पहले हम इसको स्केच करेंगे बहुत सिंपली, जस्ट एक हॉराइजन लाइन चाहिए। सो हॉराइजन लाइन जो है वो अपने स्काई का पोर्शन ज़्यादा रहेगा, और जो लैंड है और सी तो बहुत कम दिख रहा है इसमें, सो जस्ट एक स्ट्रेट लाइन इज एनफ, इज मोर देन एनफ, एंड वी विल हैव एम्पल स्पेस फॉर द स्काई। स्काई ज़्यादा है, ये हॉराइजन लाइन है। यहाँ पे हमें जो सी है उसको स्केच नहीं करना है, उसका जस्ट जो सी का जो पोर्शन है जहाँ पे पानी है, मतलब डैम्प सैंड नहीं, जो पानी वाला एरिया है जितने में अपने को पानी दिख रहा है, बस उसको थोड़ा सा एक लाइन डाल देना है, सो दैट वी नो एग्जैक्टली कि जहाँ तक पानी आ रहा है। और उसके बाद अपना ये जो जगह है, ये थोड़ा हल्का सा एक कर्व है जहाँ पे पानी आके रिट्रीट कर जाता है, तो थोड़ा डैम्प सा सैंड का जगह है। दिस पोर्शन इज डैम्प सैंड एरिया, दिस पोर्शन इज वेयर द वाटर इज। ये वाले जगह में अपना पानी है। सो सो द देर आर वेव्स हियर, एंड देन एग्जैक्टली ये वाले पोर्शन में वी हैव अ डॉग, तो ये डॉग को बना लेते हैं। देखिए ये जो बीच में ये सब जो एक्टिविटीज़ होते हैं, तो यही एक बीच की खासियत है। और वैसे कुछ आपको मज़ा सिर्फ एक बीच, एक सुनसान बीच रहेगा तो आपको वो अच्छा भी नहीं लगेगा। सो जस्ट एक इम्प्रेशन ऑफ अ डॉग इज एनफ। ओके, and basically we will have the same reflection below, reflection भी बना देंगे. And then we have a few human figures, so this, which is very important. So human are playing, people are playing with their kids, their wives, so those kind of activities, human activities, they are taking bath, they are taking walk on the water. ये वो चीज़ जो एक्टिविटी है उसको कैप्चर कीजिए, एंड वी आर कैप्चरिंग देम वेरी वेरी फास्ट. जस्ट उनका जो जेस्चर है या जो एक्शन है उसको हम कैप्चर कर रहे हैं. एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज द स्केल. सो पानी और स्काई के कंपैरिजन में इनका जो साइज़ है, जो प्रोपोर्शन है, दैट शुड बी प्रॉपर. अगर वो बड़ा या छोटा होगा तो वो कन्विंसिंग नहीं लगेगा कि ये एक करेक्ट पेंटिंग बना. सो अगर आप उतना ध्यान देंगे, बाकी जो मैं पेंटिंग का प्रोसेस बताऊंगा उसको फॉलो करेंगे, सो यू विल सी दैट यू विल गेट अ रिजल्ट वेरी वेरी फास्ट. But you have to do one thing, just make sure that the proportions of these human figures are proper. इसमें भी कुछ लोग हैं जो काफ़ी दूर चले गए हैं पानी के, तो वो थोड़े से छोटे बनेंगे. इसके कंपैरिजन में ये लोग थोड़े दूर हैं तो ऐसे छोटे बनेंगे. ओके. देन जो थोड़े से पास हैं वो थोड़े से बड़े बनेंगे. बट ओवरऑल इफ़ यू कंपेयर, more or less these human figures are of the same size. So मैं ज़रा सा मतलब एक sort of marking कर दे रहा हूँ कि जहाँ पे मुझे human figures करने हैं, which will help me to finally make this painting a little more convincing and not make it a very desolated or deserted place. कोई भी पेंटिंग में ह्यूमन फिगर्स का इम्पोर्टेंस यही रहता है कि वो उसमें लाइवलीनेस लाता है. अदरवाइज द एंटायर पिक्चर बिकम्स वेरी वेरी डेजर्टेड एंड बोरिंग. सो इट इज़ बेटर टू पुट सम ह्यूमन फिगर्स इफ यू कैन. एंड हियर द रीज़न वाई आई एम पुटिंग ह्यूमन फिगर्स इज अगेन बिकॉज ऑफ द रिफ्लेक्शन. सो ये जो रिफ्लेक्शन है, बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रिफ्लेक्शन दिस पोर्शन इज गोइंग टू लुक लाइक अ डैम्प प्लेस. एंड what we will do with this sand is we'll try to sprinkle some salt and try to develop some texture. Automatically the painting happens. Like you don't have to literally take a brush and paint each and every texture point. Okay, so our drawing is done. So let's go ahead with the painting. So now we will mix our colors. So we want the sky to be a little cloudy. So cloudy sky के लिए क्या करना है, थोड़ा सा ब्लू और थोड़ा सा उसमें लाइट रेड या बर्न्ट सियाना, कोई भी कलर, दोनों में से कोई भी कलर चलेगा. We have to mix them. Blue quantity should be a little on the higher side. And then let's put it in that kind of puffs. Make sure if the brush lumps are there, then it will create a mark. So try to take it out. So there is a small brush hair here, तो उसको निकाल देना है. And then so we want the cloud to be very very dark on one side as per the reference. So see like that. Okay, and just try to hold it in a particular way, like particular angle, so that the water just flows by. Okay, so I'm using a big mop brush here to do the work for me. Then मैं ये जगह को थोड़ा ब्रश कर दे के, इसको ब्रश करके I'm taking it like that, and wherever you have lumps or anything, take them out. That will kill your beauty, because when it is wet it is okay, when it dries it leaves a mark. So you see the sky here, how it has come. Let me bring the camera a little closer. Yeah, now we will switch to a smaller brush, slightly smaller brush, this one, because we want this portion to be a little more darker. We'll mix blue, and now let's take a little bit of vermilion, and mix it together, and little bit of Naples yellow as well. थोड़ा सा ड्रॉप इधर गिर गया, but that's okay. And now, yeah, this is the color which we want. So take some good quantity and try to develop this wild and very scary looking sky here. Okay, and whatever drops fell उसको भी use कर लीजिए to create a nice sky. And just try to blend in, थोड़ा पानी लेके, थोड़ा dampness, it should not be very wet, little damp brush. Try to just blend in these things so that it looks nice. Now this portion, the portion which touches the water, has to be very dark, this portion. So what I am doing to create little darkness, I am putting color over here, and this portion is little lighter, getting me, and I am putting it at a certain angle. I am placing you can see I am lifting this. Okay, it is good if you can put it in a diagonal fashion like that, because we want more color to flow to this portion, and this portion should have less color and less it should be relatively lighter. So what I am doing, I am allowing all the colors from here. When I am placing it like that, I am allowing the colors to flow in like this. So once you are satisfied with this thing, just see how it looks from the front side. So don't disturb it, just see it and keep it, and then use the heat air gun or hair dryer to dry it. Acha, one little trick that I forgot to tell you. If at all, while doing the wash, like making the sky, if the water or color went inside the sea area, because it is in the inverted side, so what you can do, you can take a tissue paper and fold it like this, and you want a crisp boundary. So what you do, when the paper is damp, during that time you just have to place the napkin and press it like that, so that it will take away excess color. Excess color will get deposited here, it will suck it, and this portion will become white. So this is your eraser. Okay, so you can do like this. So let's say here I have a little problem, so I will take some water and rub it, because it's already dry, and then I will place the paper towel and then just suck the color out of here, so that this thing you can practice. So now our sky is dry. You can see how beautiful it has come. Like lot of clouds here, and slowly it is fading. So the cloud is approaching from here. It gives you a sense of rain also. So we have a nice whiteness over here. So let's start painting the portion in the foreground and the sea also. So right now we will not paint the sea, we will paint this portion. We will keep this much area white right now. So I am putting water again because we need a nice looking gradient. So what goes on in our mind when we see something like this, and how do we you know um, how do we put it on paper, are two different things. So हमको हमको दिख रहा है यहाँ पे there is dampness in this portion, and then there is sea over here, which we have left it right now because there are a lot of white patches there, so I am not going over there. So but this dampness has a nice gradient. ये जो damp area है इसमें gradient बहुत बढ़िया है. So why it has gradient is because it is reflecting the color of the sky. So what we have to do is, I have wet the surface. We will take the same colors which we have used here, but if you see, I mean this portion has a little bit of extra, you can say yellowness or warmth. So the color that we had used earlier, we will mix a bit of yellow, Naples yellow or yellow ochre, anything, whichever you prefer, and then we will give it a nice wash. And because the surface is wet, the color flows like anything, it will just simply start coming down. Okay, if you see, this portion is very dark, this portion. So first we'll start with this nice gray color, which is because of us adding extra Naples yellow. Then again we will mix a little bit of blue and this burnt sienna or light red, and a little bit of Naples yellow to create a little dark sort of tone, and add in a little bit of red just to give it a darkness. So this portion is dark. Okay, this portion is dark, but it is actually not darker from the sky. Okay, but if you compare it with this portion, it is darker. So now again, to reduce the intensity of this color, I have to use a little bit of Naples yellow, and then I will just brush it here. To take with, I am taking the color, then damping it with a piece of cloth like this, and then I am creating this gradient from dark to light. Similarly here also we will go dark. Actually it is not very light on this portion, so we can make it completely dark also, and let this beautiful color flow down. Then we will make the sand. So for sand we take Naples yellow. Oh shit, some color droplets have come here. Always keep a paper towel ready. No problem, we will make some birds here. So this is a combination of Naples yellow and some burnt sienna, and I'm brushing it like that, and let this thing merge and fall down, come down beautifully. So watercolor is unforgiving. You saw a little bit of drop fall in because I was mixing color. It is very near, right? So it fell on the surface and it immediately created a very bad patch. But I cannot do anything right now. I will have to manage around with that. We will see if we can take out the color. This portion is drying, so we will have to fill this portion real fast. Again, I will reiterate what I am doing. First, we started with this nice gray color, which is the earlier sky color mixed with a little bit of Naples yellow. I put that patch, then realized that this portion is going to be darker. So for that, I mixed again a batch of blue and this burnt sienna along with a little bit of Naples yellow, little bit of red also. Then I applied it here. Then I blended it with this portion by adding a little bit of Naples yellow. So I'm here it is darker, here slowly it is becoming lighter, and here I have blended it. Then from here onwards, because this complete portion is wet, from here onwards I have started adding burnt sienna and Naples yellow combination for the sand, and slowly it came down. Now what we will do is we'll put some salt for the texture. Automatically you will see I'm sprinkling salt from top here. Don't put it in this area, just on this area, this much. So automatically it will have nice texture, and splatter some water, okay, and then just leave it like that. We will try to see if I can take out this color, because that's something which I don't like. For that we have to get a smaller brush. Let me find out a small brush. Yeah. So what I will do is, anyways that will get covered in some sea color, but just brush it, and with a tissue paper, at least that becomes a little lighter. And here that's a risk, because it might create a bad patch which I don't want, but I'm taking that risk because I don't like that, that big patch of yellow color, like sand color, on that sky. So luckily it has gone. Here this portion is very dark, so it is not visible, but if I start scribbling it with water, it might create a bad patch, so I'm leaving it here. uh, Now if you see, this portion is drying up, so we'll let this portion dry, then we will be working on okay, one thing I think we should try, and that is the reflection of the people. Because this portion is wet, I think this is the right time we can put in some nice shadows, not shadows but reflection. So I'm mixing blue and again burnt sienna, but this one is a little darker color than this, and you see I'm just, you know like that, I am just keeping kind of I'm just giving it a hint and then pulling it down like that. Okay, let's do the same thing here. This one will be a little darker. My paint is almost very dry. Okay, it's not wet. If it is wet and this surface is also wet, then it will create a white patch. So little bit of wherever I feel that there is I mean the tones are darker, I'm putting a little bit of Naples yellow. Okay, and then again this person here they are far, so that's fine. Now this dog, we'll mix a little bit of blue. That's it. Excuse me. So we will stop here and we will dry everything and come back. So now you can see how nice the texture is looking. I just put in some salt and splattered a little water, but it's looking pretty nice. Just a minute, my brush went inside. Now what we will be doing here is we will be making the the sea waves, and for that, whatever left color we had, I'm mixing a little bit of Naples yellow and little bit of brown. I want this color to be yellowish blue, like grayish blue. Okay, and then by squinting my eyes, I can see that there is a nice white, crisp white edge over here. Leaving that, uh, I am painting the rest of the sea, and there are places where I will be putting a little bit of blue also, and there are places where I will be having that nice gray kind of color. Slowly, here it will be very dark, this color, and as it goes down, like here, I'm just squinting my eyes and checking where I have to put this color, where I have to leave white. I'm reducing the size of my eyelid, like I'm half closing my eyes and checking the area which needs to be painted. Okay, now see here, it is not that much white. So what I will do, I'll mix lot of water and then have a nice, light gray kind of color here. Okay, here we will have big waves, little violent ones, and here I will have a nice light kind of mixture. And one thing I can see from here, that in the distance it is actually very dark. The edge is actually not white, it is a little dark. So what I am doing is, I am mixing again a kind of a grayish blue, and if we mix blue and maple yellow, it will be light tone. If we mix light red or burnt sienna in it, it becomes a dark tone. And I don't want it to be very very harsh or very very dark, so I'm adding water and then damping the water to reduce the quantity, so that I can make a nice kind of water border here, like that. Okay, I think it is a little on the darker side, so let's take away a little bit of the darkness by adding in some water. Okay, like that. You see what I'm doing? Like at places I'm just putting a few dots. That gives a sense of waves, and that gives a sense of some uncertainty. In watercolor, never make straight lines like this. Yeah, I could have broken it here also, so avoid that. So now we have a nice looking sea. This portion will be little, and some places just add in a nice gray tone, leave white at some places so that it looks a little natural. Stark white is actually not recommended, so plan it accordingly. Then we take a little bit of this dark color and mix some Naples yellow, and we create this boundary, like where the sand is very very wet, and then here it is fully water. Now you see, putting some lines here and like that. Just blend it. Okay. And just let's let this thing dry, then we'll make the human figures and this painting would be over. I think from the camera view, I'm sure you would be able to visualize how nice the sea is looking. So now we will be using a small the small brush, smallest of all, for my final details. Again, the same colors because it's a more grayish tone of painting in which everything is desaturated. Uh, we will be adding small little color tinges wherever needed. So let's make the head of these people, and then there are places where the human body, based on whatever clothes they are wearing, they are a little darker. So I'm just watching the reference and then adding the colors here. And the legs, we have to have broken legs, like don't put a straight line, just break it down. Okay, follow that, because why I'm saying is these are small little things which you need to follow. Otherwise you are free to do whatever you want to do. If you make a solid leg, then it doesn't have that gesture or that action kind of thing. It becomes like a pillar. You don't want to make it look like a pillar. So for that, just see what I'm doing. I'm taking some burnt sienna and I'm putting two dots. Okay, and then this lady is here. She is in a different you know uh, position, and here, so we are trying to create suggestions. We are not here to you know create something very very detailed. Just the suggestions is enough. See, wherever it is white or something, then you have to mix gray, and wherever it is dark, just mix blue and burnt sienna. That's enough. You see how nice it is looking here. We have already given the shadows and it is falling in that shadow line. And then just you know create this magic. This is magic, nothing else. Like the human figures and the how you are making them, um, you know how you are putting action in them is something which is interesting, which makes it very lively. Until now it was all boring because it was only sea and sky. Slowly we are adding human figures and it's popping to life. Little color variation, some red, some blue, like that. And Okay, now some people are taking selfie like that. Others are holding something in hand. Small touches here and there. And this person is, I don't know what he's doing, but he is soaking himself in water. Excuse me. Then this cute little dog is here. So this dog is ought to be on the darker side, and again see here also I am breaking his, like, the legs I am trying to do um, in suggestions. Nice. So see, now just this 2-3 more chaps sitting and enjoying in the beach. They are taking bath. They're completely sitting on the surface. So once we do that, I think the painting is more or less over. So here just, yeah. And then their shadows are not falling. The rest everybody's shadow is falling. Like that. And here you have this shadow like that, and then disappearing. Here you have these people's shadow disappearing. These people's shadow is fine. Yeah, I think pretty much done. If you want a few little white lines here and there, is can just help us get a bit of reflection or something like that. So if you have some white, some pure white, I have here pure white. I was searching for it while I was talking. So थोड़ा सा white लेके, if you want, like, if you can also leave it like that. If you want, you can just put little bit of white. That adds in kind of small element of reflection. We cannot add in a lot because there is not much light for this much reflection, but थोड़ा दिखने के लिए. और if you want somebody's dress to be white, like let's say you want somebody's dress to be a little on the whiter side, you can add few streaks of white. So I am using this white directly from tube, and that you can see how nicely it is creating an effect of water, some dampness, and nice. It's giving a beautiful feel. I think done. I'll put on some uh, birds here and there. For that also, for birds can be in black color or in white color. It's not necessarily It should not be only in the black color which people do. In sea you have seagulls and many birds which are primarily in white. It will, so just make small birds. I'll take a smaller brush for that. And now we can go ahead and put in some dark colored birds also. When I'm saying dark, I'm not mentioning black, little dark. So wherever we had some color spill up or something, just put on some birds. If you want, you can put some crows also here, because in beaches there are a lot of crow. You can put. I'm not putting here because this is just a demo, but I'm very happy with how it has turned up. Please tell me, did you like this? People, you guys are not commenting. Kindly comment, because I will get a sense of whether I am doing good or not, and whether you have learned something or not from the fact that people are putting comments. If you are getting involved, you will definitely put a nice comment. So kindly put your comments so that I also get to understand your point of view, whether you are getting things or not, is it helping you or not, and which will keep me motivated to keep posting such amazing videos. Thank you everybody. The only thing that is left is putting a signature, so let's put that, I think here on this side. Thanks for watching. Try to replicate this, try to do something similar, and let me know how is it. Thank you. Bye bye.